Welcome children. Today we will study the second part of the third chapter of geography on drainage for standard 9th. Today we will study about the Himalayan rivers. As I told you, there are three main Himalayan rivers, the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. So we will study about their river system. Now what is a river system? A river along with its tributaries. So we are going to learn about the Indus river system, the Ganga river system and the Brahmaputra river system. So children, we will learn in detail about each river system. As you can see, these are the three main Himalayan rivers. So we'll start with Indus. For each river we'll learn its origin, where it ends, so the source and the mouth, the tributaries that join this river, the states through which this river crosses, through which countries it crosses. Okay, so we learn about these three Himalayan rivers, and as I told you, these three are perennial rivers. That means they have water in them throughout the year, either by the snow that melts from the Himalayan mountain or by rainfall. Now children, let us see the origin of river Indus. Now you can see here it rises in Tibet. Tibet is here, okay, near Mansarovar lake, and then it flows westward and enters India in the Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir. So you see children, this is the route of or the journey of the river Indus. It starts from Tibet, rises in Tibet near Mansarovar lake, then flows westwards, enters India in the Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir. You can see here it forms a beautiful gorge. You can see when the river cuts through two mountains, forms a gorge, a lovely beautiful scene. And here it is joined by some tributaries. We'll have a look at that. Several tributaries join the main river Indus in the Jammu and Kashmir region. You can see on the left bank we have Zanskar, and on the right bank of the river Indus we have Shayok, Nubra, Gilgit. Okay, so it starts from Tibet, enters into Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir. Then you can see it goes into the Pak occupied Kashmir, Balochistan and Gilgit, and then it emerges from the mountain of Attock and then flows downwards and enters Pakistan and finally empties into the Arabian Sea. And according to Rig Veda, the name of Indus was as Sindhu. Now here is a map which shows all the tributaries of Indus in a clear manner. You can see Indus rising from Tibet near Mansarovar lake, entering Ladakh in the Jammu and Kashmir region, and you can see on the left bank we have Zanskar, Shuru, Dras, and on the right bank we have Galwan, Shayok, Nubra, Hunza, Gilgit, and then you can see it now entering into the Pak occupied Kashmir in Balochistan and Gilgit. This green line that you see is Pak occupied Kashmir, and from there it turns downwards and enters into Pakistan. While entering into Pakistan, it joins by various other tributaries. You can see Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bees and Satluj, and they all meet at Mithankot in Pakistan. Children, now let us understand the meaning of right bank tributary and left bank tributary of a river. First of all, you should know the direction in which the river is flowing. Now see, the river Indus is flowing this way, so this is the direction of the river, and if you are standing here, our right hand is going to be this side, so it's this side, whichever tributaries join the river, it's going to be the right bank tributaries, and the left hand side are going to be the left bank tributaries. See, for river Ganga, if you are standing here, the floor is this way, so our right hand is on the other side. This side is going to be the right bank tributaries and the other side is going to be the left bank tributaries. I hope I made myself clear on which are the right bank tributaries and left bank tributaries. It depends on the flow of the river water, the direction in which the river flows. So children, let us have a look at the left bank tributaries of river Indus. This is the flow of direction of the flow of the river Indus. So these are the left bank tributaries, and we will study the main 5 tributaries which originate in India. Okay, so the first one we are going to study is Chenab. You can see Chenab, which originates in Himachal Pradesh, and then it goes into Pakistan and joins the river Indus near Mithankot. Okay, and then we have another river Jhelum, which originates in Jammu and Kashmir, and then it joins the river Chenab. Okay, again river Ravi, which originates in Himachal Pradesh and then joins the Chenab river, which ultimately joins the main Indus. Another big river which originates near Mansarovar Lake in Tibet, it gets into Himachal, then Punjab, okay, and then this joins the Chenab river. This is the Satluj river, the one in blue. Here on this river we have the Bhakra Nangal Dam. Then another river which is originating in Himachal Pradesh is Beas, okay, and it joins the Satluj river, which again joins the main Indus river. So these are the 5 rivers. Now which other states in India are benefiting from the Indus river? We see Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal and Punjab. So these are the states which benefit from the river Indus. So it is said 1/3 of the Indus river basin lies in India, that is Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Punjab. Okay. So children, this is the entire course of the river Indus, starting from Tibet, getting into Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, and then getting into Pakistan, and finally it ends and drains out in the Arabian Sea. Okay, so you can see these are the left bank tributaries of the river Indus, and these are the right bank tributaries of river Indus, and the total journey, the total length is 2,900 kilometers. Now children, you must know that a treaty was signed called the Indus Water Treaty between India and Pakistan, and India can use only 20% of the total water carried by the Indus river, because 1/3 of the river flows in India and the rest is all flowing into Pakistan. And this water we use it for irrigation for Punjab, Haryana and southern and western parts of Rajasthan. So you see how Indus river is so useful to us. Majority of the river is flowing into Pakistan. So children, here are the quick facts about river Indus, and it will be easier for you to learn in this tabulated form. I'll first let me tell you that river Indus is one of the longest rivers of the world. Okay, its origin in Tibet near Mansarovar Lake, mouth is Arabian Sea in Pakistan. According to Rig Veda, the name of Indus was Sindhu, and length is 2,900 kilometers, and the state it enters in India are Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Punjab, and the countries where the river Indus flows is Tibet, India and Pakistan. And the left bank tributaries of river Indus are Zanskar, Jhelum, Chenab, Beas, Ravi and Satluj, and the right bank tributaries are Shyok, Hunza and Gilgit. Children, let us now look into the Ganga river system, and here you can see the entire stretch of the Ganga river system, the northern plains, and so many tributaries joining it on the right bank and left bank. And this entire journey, as it is given in your book, is 2,500 kilometers, but actually it is more than 2,005 kilometers. It is 2,525 kilometers. So children, you can see the origin of Ganga from the Gangotri glaciers, okay, and from there the river flows, which is called as Bhagirathi, and it is joined by another river called Alaknanda. And then these two rivers meet at Devprayag, which is in Uttarakhand. Okay, I've written here UK. UK doesn't mean London, but it is Uttarakhand. And here when they meet, you can see the confluence of these two rivers, and from there when it gets into Haridwar and gets into the plain land, then it is called as Ganga. So from Devprayag it is called as Ganga. So all of you must know origin is from the Gangotri river. It is called Bhagirathi. It is joined by Alaknanda at Devprayag, and from the confluence at Devprayag we call this river as Ganga. Children, this slide shows clearly the entire journey of the river Ganga along with its tributaries. Okay, let's look at it. So you can see the origin is in the Gangotri glaciers, and from there the river Bhagirathi flows. It is joined by Alaknanda and they meet at Devprayag, and from there it is called as Ganga. And then you can see the Ganga from Haridwar, it enters the plains, and from here it goes around, and then you can see at Farakka it bifurcates into two parts. That means there are distributaries. So one becomes Hooghly and the other goes into Bangladesh, where Ganga is known as Padma, and finally it empties out into the Bay of Bengal. So this is the journey. Now let us have a look at the right bank and left bank tributaries of river Ganga. So on the right bank you see the biggest one is Yamuna, and it is joining and going parallel to river Ganga, and it meets at Prayagraj, which is Allahabad, the meeting point, Sangam. And Yamuna has two tributaries also main. This is Chambar and Betwa. Another tributary on the right bank is Son. Okay, it meets the Ganga river. And then we have another tributary, Hooghly, which is called as Damodar. Okay, but it joins the Hooghly river. Now let us see on the left bank. We have here main ones is Ghagra. You can see this is Ghagra, then Gandak and Kosi, which comes from Nepal, and this is called the Sorrow of Bengal. It causes floods every year and brings floods to Bihar. It is called as Sorrow of Bihar. Okay, then you can see Padma, which joins with Brahmaputra. Once it joins, it is called as Meghna, and they finally empty out into the Bay of Bengal. Now here where they empty out, it forms a delta. Okay, and this is one of the most fertile deltas, which is called as Sundarban Delta. So this is the entire journey of the river Ganga. This is another slide showing the journey of river Ganga. You can see here Bhagirathi, Alaknanda, okay, then meeting point of them. Then near Haridwar you can see Ganga is now entering into the plains. You can see the journey of river Ganga. Then at Farakka barrage it bifurcates, one becomes Hooghly and the other goes into Bangladesh and becomes as Padma. Then you can see here on the left bank we have Kosi, we have Gandak, Ghagra. Then there are others that are not shown, is Kali, and you can see here this is Yamuna, mains ones are Chambal. There's other tributaries also called Banas, Betwa, and here we have the Son. These are originating from the peninsular plateau. Now this slide shows more tributaries which were not shown earlier in that other one. Here we have Ram, Ganga and Gomti. These are the two other main tributaries which join river Ganga. These are the left bank tributaries. Okay, so these are the entire tributaries which provide water to river Ganga, and you can see the course of river Ganga right from the mountains, entering the plains, and finally emptying out into the Bay of Bengal. So this Hooghly river empties out in the Bay of Bengal. It is actually a distributary, and it forms a world's largest delta, which is called as Sundarban Delta. Now children, we had learnt this word water divide. Whenever there is an upland or a mountain or a hill and bifurcates two drainage systems. So you can see near Ambala there is a upland or a hill which divides the two drainage system, Indus River and Ganga River. So Indus River flows westward and Ganga River flows eastward. So near Ambala, Haryana, we have a water divide. The government of India has started a program called Namami Gange program. Namami Gange program. Now, what is the importance of this program? It is mainly to make Ganga pollution free, to conserve the river, and to rejuvenate our national river, because this is one of the most important river of our country. And this program started in 2014 by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now this is a tabulated form so that you can remember the entire facts on river Ganga. So you can see the origin is Gangotri glaciers, which is known as Bhagirathi. Then the mouth is Farakka barrage. One part moves as Hooghly river and flows into Bay of Bengal, and the other joins Jamuna and flows into Bay of Bengal. The name in India it is called as Ganga, and in Bangladesh it is called as Padma. Now the length according to your book is 2500, but actual length is 2525 kilometers. The state it enters are Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand and West Bengal, and the countries through which it flows is India and Bangladesh. The left bank tributaries are Ramganga, Gomti, Ghagra, Ghandak, Kosi, and the right banks are Yamuna. The tributaries of Yamuna main are Chambal and Betwa. Then we have Son and Damodar. Children, now let us look into the Brahmaputra river system. Here you can see in this map, the river starts from Tibet, from a glacier called Chemang-Yongdung, and then it goes eastwards parallel to the Himalayan range, and then there is a mountain called Namcha Barwa, from where it takes a U-turn, enters into Arunachal Pradesh, then gets into Assam, and then goes into Bangladesh, and finally empties out into the Bay of Bengal. This entire journey of this river, right from Tibet to Bangladesh and finally into the Bay of Bengal, is 2,900 kilometers. Now let us look into the origin of the Brahmaputra river. You can see it starts in Tibet, very close to the Kailash range, east of the Mansarovar lake, and it rises from a glacier called Chemang-Yongdung, and from there it flows eastwards parallel to the Himalayan range. So here in Tibet in China, the Brahmaputra is called as Sangpo. Sangpo means purifier. Okay, and then it flows, as I told you, eastwards, and then it reaches Namcha Barwa. This is a hill there, mountain there, and from there it takes a U-turn and enters into Arunachal Pradesh. When it enters into Arunachal Pradesh, they call the Brahmaputra as Dihang. They call it as Dihang, and there in Arunachal it is joined by two main tributaries, Dibang and Lohit, and then the Brahmaputra river comes into Assam. In Assam it is joined by two more tributaries, Dhansari and Dikhu. Okay, and then it finally goes into Bangladesh, where it is called as Jamuna and meets the river Ganga, which is called Padma in Bangladesh, and together when they join together it is called Meghna, and finally empty out into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so these were the left bank tributaries. The right bank tributaries are Tista, Rangit, Manas and Subhangiri. Okay, so this is the course of the Brahmaputra river. Now children, when Brahmaputra river flows from Tibet, it carries a small volume of water and less silt, because this region is cold and dry. The moment it enters Arunachal and Assam, because due to heavy rainfall the volume of water increases and even silt increases. Okay, so here you can see the entire course of the Brahmaputra river, right from the glacier, and then it is flowing eastwards parallel to the Himalayan range, and from Namcha Barwa it takes a U-turn, enters into Arunachal, Assam, and then goes into Bangladesh. Okay, so here you can see the two main rivers in Arunachal, Dihang and Lohit, and here you can see mainly Tista, Manas. These are the some of the tributaries of Brahmaputra. Now the Brahmaputra, when it enters Assam, it has a large volume of water, and so it has a braided channel. Now what is a braided channel? It is interlocking each other, just like we make a plait, and it forms a number of riverine island. Do you remember we have taught you riverine island? Name the riverine island on Brahmaputra river. Yes, it is Manjuli. So children, here is a quick recap of the entire course of the river Brahmaputra. Origin, you know where it is. It is from the glacier in the Kailash range called Chemang Yungdung. Then where does it empty out? It joins Padma in Bangladesh and empties out into Bay of Bengal. It is called as Yalong Sangpo in China, Dihang in Arunachal, and Jamuna in Bangladesh. And the total length is 2,900 kilometers. The states that it enters is Arunachal Pradesh and Assam in India. And the countries are India, Bangladesh and China, through which it flows. The left bank tributaries, as I told you, is Dibang, Lohit, Dhansari and Kolong. And the right bank tributaries are Subangiri, Manas and Tista. Children, we come to an end of the second part of this chapter, the drainage. In this video we have covered the entire Himalayan river system. In my next video, that is the third part, we are going to cover the peninsular rivers. Okay, thank you.